and welcome to Tales from the Tips. If you're catching us on YouTube, make sure you give us a like and hit that subscribe button. Drop us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Also, we want to know how you're doing in your qualifiers. We got a big day of golf coming up, the longest day of golf as we get ready for the U.S. Open. You can find Tales from the Tips wherever you find your favorite podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and of course, the Odyssey app. Just give us a like, hit that plus button, check mark, subscribe, and enjoy. I'm DA. That guy over there is 15-year tour caddy Mick Middlemo. And we have a special guest. He is the founder and president of Renegade Golf, Mr. Kenneth Duncan. And guys, as we always like to say, we're just a couple guys that love to talk about the game of golf, both inside and outside the ropes, but we come at it from a completely different perspective. Guys, we got a lot to talk about today. We've got PGA Championship. One Scotty Scheffler wins again. We've got our hits and misses. We know that Mick can't wait to get into that. But most importantly, we've got our special guest, Mr. Kenneth Duncan. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Mick?
Born ready.
Let's grip it and rip it. Mr. Kenneth Duncan,
Yes, sir.
you and I've gotten to know each other over the last year and a half. We worked on a little golf outing together. How are things with Renegade Golf?
Yeah, Renegade Golf has been great. You know, I've been able over the last couple of years to really see a lot of growth in the company. I've been able to help a lot of people in the Atlanta community, and now we're going outside of Atlanta. So, we've been growing the last couple of months. We've added a lot of courses very intentionally in large metropolitan cities. So now we're able to be found in Nashville, Charlotte, Sacramento Metro, going all the way up to Detroit and expanding to the city of Detroit courses. So,
Look at that face over there.
Are you talking to me?
You didn't see this one coming, did you?
No, I did not. I didn't realize this was a setup.
Tell them where you're from.
So I'm actually from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Both my parents went to University of Michigan, so it's a little bit of go blue.
There you go, Mick.
No comment.
So I got to ask, what's new with the company right now? What do you got working on? I know you guys had a little bit of a brand relaunch here before the PGA show. How's it been going, and what's been happening with the company since then?
Yeah, so we've been really excited. I mean, our Imbu golf ball was on Golf Digest's hot list, so we were one of the hottest golf balls in the world just last year. And this year we went out and launched a brand new golf ball, the Blueprint. It's been our best ever seller. And the unique thing about a Blueprint is that it took us back to our roots as a company. We were founded to make golf more affordable, more accessible, but also to target millennials, moms, and minorities. And we took this Blueprint golf ball and brought a person who represents everything that we represent. Maurice Allen, on the front of our golf ball box, as both a millennial and a minority, and in that age group. And that golf ball has really been something that we take pride in, and we've also seen a lot of growth from. So new product releases, new courses releases, new baby on the way coming soon. So it's exciting.
There we go.
Yep.
He's going to be following right after Scotty over here.
He will be.
Winning golf tournaments and carrying around babies.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, we have talked about Posty a lot on this show.
Yes, you have.
He is our adopted player for the Tales from the Tips podcast. You're on board too.
I'm on board.
Don't start
I'm on board.
pointing fingers.
I'm on board. Ricky fella.
Ricky is your guy. Ricky didn't have a very good tournament.
No, he did not.
We'll talk about that in hits and misses in a little bit. But when you look at the math, someone would have had to have gone 7 under yesterday, and Scotty shoot over par.
Yeah, we actually did. We actually had that very discussion yesterday before the tournament started. I said someone's going to have to shoot 9 under.
You
Basically, if they're going to have a chance to beat.
You were going to have a Scheffler Saturday on Sunday with Sunday placements.
Yeah.
In those conditions.
And he's not going to shoot 75 or 76.
Thank you. Like I said, tournament over.
Yeah.
And it great. I mean, it's nice to see him win something other than the Masters, and I'm excited now. I'm kind of on Mick's plan. I want to see him. Does he have a chance at Oakmont? I think his biggest challenge winning a major is going to be the U.S. Open, and I don't care what venue, because when it comes down to it, you have to be able to putt.
Are you telling me he can't putt?
I can tell you he's not one of the world's best putters.
Have you been drinking?
No. Do your research. I mean,
It's delusional.
he's been in the.
You don't get number one in the world if you can't putt.
Well, okay, he can putt.
He's better putter than us three. I guess put it that way.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Settle down.
Oh,
Kevin Stadler.
Kevin
Stadler said I was the best putter from 6 feet he's ever seen. True story.
was Stadler drinking?
Well, probably.
Right. Was this?
I'm going to call him after this. And
Was
let him
this at his house afterwards, after the waste management one night?
maybe.
Okay.
So that same question, if you're saying, putting is important, we've seen Rory in big moments, U.S. Open included, last year, miss some big putts. Would you say that Rory and Scotty both cannot be favorites because neither of them are considered elite putters, the U.S. Open?
I think both of them have their struggles around courses like a U.S. Open setup.
Then who's your elite putter that you think is going to win the United States Open?
JT. Poston.
No, Posty's a really good. Is a very good putter. I don't think he's got the ball striking skills at a U.S. Open to hold U.S. Open condition greens.
Drum roll. Can we do a drum roll for this answer?
Who do I think?
Yeah. Who did you pick anyway?
Well, that's the problem. We'll get to that in a little bit. You and I flip flopped. I'm hoping he has a better tournament than he did this one. Let's just say it that way.
Oh, I know. I know who you picked.
Yeah. Kenny's over here going on what? So just so you know, and our listeners, just as a reminder, December 14th, we did an episode where we actually picked all the majors,
All 4 of them.
and the players and the FedEx.
Can I ask you a question, buddy?
Oh, here we go.
This, my partner over here believes there's 6 majors. He believes that the Tour Championship and the Players Championship should be deemed as majors. That way there would be 6.
Now you're putting words in my mouth. I said there are
Slim.
6 majors
I need help.
that we are going after. I didn't say they need to be deemed majors.
6 majors we're going after. Still sounds like 6 majors. Kind of
Yeah.
sounds like you just added "we are going after" to the end of it to make it sound better than 6 majors.
Another vote for me.
Is
I
the
think
play-
that's 3,200
is the
to
players
1.
regarded as the 5th?
I'd say the players as the 5th is unequivocal at this point. The field is tremendous. The course is tremendous. So I'd say,
But it's not a major. That's what he's saying. It's not a major.
But I can't get to 6. I can't do any more math to get to 6. at
You
any point.
you can't include the FedEx when you have the top 30 players.
No, it's only
can't.
30 players.
No.
You can't have a tournament with 30 players and count that as a major. Anyway, let's get back to the
They've
PGA.
earned it throughout
Just say
the
you're
entire
wrong.
year.
Just say you're wrong and we'll move on. We've moved on. You're wrong.
Okay. Let me go back to the notes here now. Let me ask you this for both of you guys. What stood out that you didn't expect to see or hear or see this during the PGA?
I didn't expect Johnny Vegas to be leading after 2 rounds. He would have been
I would agree with
close
that.
to the last person I would have picked, but yeah. That one did surprise me.
I didn't expect Roy to struggle as much as we did. He talked
Fact.
about how driving the ball there is open course and driving it well. He just didn't seem to hit the ball very well. Maybe the driver thing from the beginning of the week really kind of frazzled him a little bit.
Well,
but
there was a few of them that had to change drivers this week. The leader had to change his driver too.
Yep.
allegedly.
We'll
is that
talk.
right?
No, he did.
That's true.
Yeah,
We'll-
he did.
we'll-
Yeah.
We will talk about non-conforming drivers
Mm-hmm.
here in a second, but let's get back to the actual course play. I will say what I was surprised by was the course conditions, even after as soft as that course was from all the rain, how tough it played.
It's a hard golf course.
Well, yeah, you know firsthand.
Yeah.
And with the rough up and
There is
winds
a lot of intimidating tee shots on that golf course, I can assure you. There is a lot of holes you stand up there and go, oh, okay. I mean, it's easy for me as a caddy to go, just hit it there. But, you're looking at...
I was going to say,
like
you're,
the 7th hole, the par 5. It's like, the fairway like looks this narrow from the tee box, and you've got water on the right, bunkers and trees on the left, and it's intense. And 18 is just like, I probably close my eyes more on that tee shot when watching players hit than any other tee shot.
Have you ever been out to Quail?
Never been out there, no.
Have you been there?
No, I was hoping to get out there. We got let down on that one. We got to work on that.
We do.
I'm going to lean on the Caddy to get us into some more places now.
All right.
You're on that?
Yeah, actually, I think I probably could.
You haven't burned every bridge, have you?
No, only a few.
Okay.
If you're surprised about course conditions, my expectation from a high-level golf course is that you can get it back like this. I mean, they put sub-air systems on the greens now. They got $1 million improvements on different, like, that's my expectation at a major-level golf course is that when it rains, you get the rain out. Like, I mean, of course, there was, some mud the first day or two, but that's what these millions of dollars and these exorbitant fees are for, right? To pull the water out the course, to drain it well, to have the greens in great condition. So it played like it's supposed to play the last couple of days, and I think the best player came out and won.
Fact.
I would agree with that.
And mud balls, as Scotty talked about.
Do you want to
in
go
first
into
round.
mud balls?
I hate mud balls.
So what would you have done
Oh, they should have played live clean in place.
in a major tournament?
100%. Well, you hit it down the middle, and you've got this much mud sitting on your golf ball, and the other guy hits it right next to you, and he's got no mud. Where's the fairness in that? And don't give me this garbage that, well, it's just the rub of the green, and that's just the luck of the game. No, it's not. You shouldn't be penalised for hitting a perfect shot. And it's just, okay, and I get landing in divots is fine. I mean, that's part of it too. But yeah, I hate mud on golf balls. I despise it.
So let me ask you this. Then what's the difference between a mud ball and a ball landing in a sand-filled divot?
That's what I said. Sand-filled divots I can deal with. I can actually, to me, that's part of the game. Mud on the golf ball is not part of the game. And if it is, then we should never play live clean in place. Why should you do it in one tournament and you can't do it in the next? Why is it so imperative that while it's a major, we have to play the ball down? I've never understood it. I mean, I've been in tournaments where you played live clean in place. I think I was in one in Syracuse where they played live clean in place everywhere, in the rough and everything. Yeah, and that's
In
how
the
bad.
rough?
That's how bad the weather was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was close to tee up. That's how bad it was. I think there was another one in Jackson, Mississippi, where the whole tournament got cancelled, and because it just rained consistently. There was one of those off events and stuff. I think it might have been the one that was against the British Open, and it was just torrential rain for every day we were there. And at one stage, they were going to try to say, well, let's just turn this into a par 3 competition. That's where the rules officials were heading. They were like, we'll just turn every hole into a par 3 and you don't have to worry about the fairways. But it just kept raining so bad, they just went, cancel the tournament.
Just cancel it.
Mm-hmm. Which was really, that was really unique because a lot of players just withdrew and said, well, we're not staying, it's done. So they just withdrew. But the people who hung around, the players actually got paid that week. Out of some of the prize money, so to cover their expenses and caddies and things like that. I think they paid each player $5,000 or something like that.
There you go. That's good. So you would have played it. You would have played
Live clean in place.
through just the first round, second round.
First round.
Okay. I don't disagree. I don't think ball flight and I mean these guys aren't the three of us. Where, a left hook looks normal. When you're hitting balls dead straight in there.
I can't hook a ball, you know that.
This is true, actually.
I couldn't draw a ball with it.
He physically cannot hit a draw.
I couldn't draw a ball with a pen and paper.
Unless, you ready for this? I kid you not, and we have this on, we do have this on tape.
On video, yeah.
He stands backwards and can hit the ball about 210, 220. Kid you not. I watched it firsthand. Backwards.
And it's a perfect draw.
If I stand him at a normal address and I tell him to draw the ball, he will look at me and tell me, not going to happen, mate.
Never going to happen.
And sure enough, it fades to the right.
What does hitting a ball backwards consist of? You're literally standing back to the ball?
His back is towards the ball.
Yeah, literally I'm this way. Like the ball's here and I'm standing this way. My back is facing the fairway.
Back is towards the target.
Huh. Yeah.
I'd never seen that even in a drill.
It is a good drill. It's a drill that'll teach you to drill the ball. Anyway, come on,
Okay.
Let's go. Let's get back. Come on, because
So
I'm excited about
I do wanna
rubbing it
get-
in your face.
Slim, do you hear this?
Slim was laughing back
Can
there
you
because he
believe
knows
this,
I'm
Slim?
right. Remember last week I told you this.
I'm glad I caught the context.
Slim,
So I just,
you're going to have to also remember that he walked back on his commentary too. So
No, I did not, because you forced me into it. I said,
I forced you.
out of the PGA professionals,
Yeah. The Corbridge 20. Let's call them what they were.
the Corbridge 20,
Yes.
I said that none of them would make the cut.
You did say that.
and how many?
then what did,
and how many of them made the cut?
and then-
how many of them made the cut?
and then what did you do?
I'll answer my question. 0 made the
No,
cut.
no.
No,
Tell him.
you forced me to say 1.
How did I force you?
Because you were just like, moaning and groaning. So I said, okay, 1. And then I went back and said, no, 0.
1.
Thanks, Slim.
No, you said no, maybe 1, maybe 2.
No, yeah, and I was right the first time with 0. But you
We
forced
have
me-
it on audio, don't
you
we, Slim?
coerced me into changing my pick.
I did not.
You did. It was 0, and I was right again. Thank you.
And
move
I
on.
and,
Move on.
And
Let's go.
what was my comment back to you when you asked me that question?
What about your boy Chi? You said he'd make the cut. What did he shoot? 21 over?
No, 19.
19 over. Oh, he just
Yeah.
missed.
He was close.
Must have been a bad back.
I'll say we'll talk about that in misses. I missed bad on Andre Chi. Well, I think the whole Corbridge 20 missed.
They did.
But they did. They're almost as bad as some of your misses, though. So
As predicted.
yeah. But I want to ask you, because since I'm going to look at Kenneth from a perspective from the manufacturing side on the golf ball side, you know that testing happens regularly on the tour.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't a shock. The fact that they basically hit it and didn't say anything until halfway through the first round, second round on Friday when Rory was struggling, and only came out as Rory at first.
Yeah, and then it was Scotty on the weekend.
And, Scotty actually, they didn't reveal it until Xander said something in his final press conference on Sunday after he was wrapping up.
Yeah, he just kept it. The
it's kind of a
driver,
weak
he'd been
move. I don't
using
know
the
why
driver
Xander
for
did
years.
that. That was kind of strange. Like, why did Xander just go out there and talk about this other guy? Like, weird.
I thought the same
agree.
thing. Like I didn't hear the actual question, so I'm curious to know what the actual question was on it. But I guess my question back to both of you guys is, what is the point of? Let me frame it this way: for 3 weeks prior to this tournament, players and caddies were able to use rangefinders, right? Because they were allowed to use them in the PGA Championship. That's a non-conforming PGA Tour rule, right? Why then did they test the Tuesday of the tournament and not a couple weeks before so that these guys could have adjusted equipment?
The driver may have been tested the week before. I don't know. They do change.
It was tested on Tuesday.
Yeah,
But
I'm just
reports
saying-
came out on Tuesday.
But they may have tested it 2 weeks before. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, obviously the PGA have different rules as well, but
I mean, they test every week, though.
Drivers
Every
change.
event tests. They test every single week.
Random
You can
testing.
become
Yeah.
conforming to non-conforming in 1 week. I mean, it could be a level of hitting another 500 balls for a week, and you were conforming last week, you're not this week. That's kind of my challenge with all of the testing. It's so numeric, number driven. It's like, hey, if this coefficient of 4 equals 2, then it's not conforming. It doesn't have any real practicality with the actual club itself or the ball itself. There's so many numbers involved with it that have to do with drag and spin, and so it's such a hard thing for the player to kind of know themselves.
it's called creeping.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's called creeping.
Creeping?
When your
Really?
driver creeps.
The club just creeps.
Yeah. I mean,
because obviously the face gets thinner and thinner and thinner, and the thinner the face gets, the more trampoline effect it has.
right.
That's why that's non-conforming. I mean, it just happens all the time.
And I'm not arguing that drivers and equipment doesn't wear out. That I'm not out, and it becomes non-conforming, so to speak. My question, though, for both of you guys is, why do we wait till the week of a tournament, especially of this magnitude, to test the club? Why not do it the week before?
Well, maybe they did. I don't know. Well, I have to ask that question.
You have to, because the
You're
club,
the expert.
The club can creep more every week. So I mean, if you test it 3 weeks before, you have to say you cannot use this club again for 3 weeks, or else
So
the
why
testing
not?
becomes
Why
invalid.
not test after a tournament?
It's probably easier to test before a tournament. Gives the guy at least a couple of days to get another driver in play.
Because they're acknowledging it's unintentional. They're acknowledging that we're going to test beforehand, And if it becomes non-conforming throughout the tournament, it wasn't intentionally happening, but it'd be impossible to have it before, during, and after. It'd be impossible to maintain.
So when do they test the balls?
The ball is on a conforming list for the entire year, so there really is no creep of a ball. If it's conforming, it's conforming.
Okay.
Well, most of them only use a ball for 2 or 3 holes anyway.
That's true.
Unless you're Greg Norman, then it was 1 a hole.
And then you just replace it.
At least your driver, you know, will be conforming because you haven't hit the middle of it for so long. It's probably lasted 20 years.
I will tell you, after Friday, I'm about ready to, find a different one. It was bad. That one, that looks more like my style.
That's the old TaylorMade tool spoon.
I mean, I am hitting a TaylorMade. Okay. Well, I'm glad we got through that because that was just fun. So let's turn to our hits and misses because I knew you were waiting for that.
Okay.
Mick, your hits.
What were they?
Harris English.
My boy. Go Georgia Bulldogs.
How about that Georgia Bulldog?
telling you,
Harris
baby.
English T2 with Bryson and Riley Davis. Riley Davis, by the way, resurrected that round towards the end to get himself back in there. I'm also going to give you Rory. And the reason I'm giving you Rory, T47, by the way, your original pick, Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, he didn't do very well.
He
But did you see him at the Quick Trip getting the 30 pack?
No.
Did you not see that?
No.
There's a picture of him on
Get out of
Instagram.
here. What was he getting? Did he get Ultra?
It's like, no, it was Miller Lite.
He was getting Miller
I
Lite.
think it was
Oh.
Miller Lite. He's standing in line there, just holding a 30 pack.
I'm not going to apologize to our friends at Anheuser-Busch already because Mick.
You asked.
I know. You listen. You already set us up for a sponsorship with Ultra, even though they're never going to pay us for it because you talk about it all the time. By the way, Mick is on a 100-day dry spell.
Wait till see how grumpy
Do you
I'm this time next
Do you
week.
want to tell everybody what did you do?
No.
I want to know what you
decided
do.
I was not going to drink for 100 days.
Why?
Probably because I'm fat.
You gave me. Do you know how hard of a time you gave me the month of January and February?
Yeah, because people do that dry January stuff. That's just like following the herd. You have to do something different. Just be out there. Don't be a follower.
Why did you pick?
See?
I was
Not a
gonna say-
follower, a leader.
He
See?
is a leader.
See?
Yeah.
Can't debate that, yeah.
Look at that. You can't argue with it, can you?
No, because I'm usually right. Anyway, come on, move on. Hits and misses.
Okay.
What was my miss? My misses was.
Wait, so why did we
No,
give
no,
him
no,
Rory?
no,
Why'd
no.
you give him Rory, though? We didn't explain why he got Rory out of T47.
I just wanted Rory.
Well-
I didn't really pick Rory. I just said it would be nice for him to win the first 2 majors, and then we could move on, and that would be fun to watch the next 2, hoping someone could win the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
So I threw him in there.
You didn't throw him in. Let's be honest.
threw him in there.
You wanted to change your pick.
Well, I can't because I made them in December. I'm not allowed. You told me
Right.
I wasn't allowed.
I know.
All right, give me more
So
misses.
I gave you. I'm going to go with my hits.
Oh, well, that shouldn't take long. Probably hit.
It was a hit.
Who was it?
Bryson.
Yeah. Didn't win. Move on.
And then, of course, as we mentioned, JT Poston, tying T5th. Now, I will say,
Great result.
And I was talking with Michael downstairs earlier about this, and just so everybody knows, Michael, one of my guys that works downstairs with me, he and JT played high school together. That was a costly last 2 holes for JT Poston.
Mm-hmm.
Even though T5th, he was solo second, -7 going into 17. And he finishes T5. So
Spent a few shekels.
he spent a few shekels. Could have gone into the baby's savings fund a little bit more. Okay.
I bet you the caddy knows how much he lost.
I was going to say, you
We
guys.
do caddy math very quickly on
You
the
do
18th. Very quickly on the
Were you-
18th hole, caddy math.
Were you doing caddy math?
Oh, I used to do caddy math a lot.
Yep.
He's standing on the 18th hole. Ooh, that'd be 2 putts.
Did you do caddy math for Ted Scott yesterday?
I've given up. I can't count that high.
Okay, can we say, though, did Ted Scott not earn his money yesterday?
Yeah, he does. All caddies earn their money. See,
Oh,
see how
see.
see
A
how
little bias
defensive-
there,
see
but
how- see how
Do
defensive
you
I-
see the bias over
see
there?
how little defensive I got then?
He gets very defensive when you start bringing up
Wait,
caddies.
wait till 2 weeks' time when I haven't had a drink in 2 weeks. See how defensive I am.
I can't
bring
wait
some
for
boxing gloves
I
for
can't
me
wait
next
for
week.
next week's episode when we're recording for the memorial.
Oh, it'll be perfect. I haven't had a drink for a week, and I get to talk about Jack Nicklaus's course. Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
baby.
Okay, Misses.
Yep.
Mick, Brooks,
Yep. Well, we've said that already.
Ricky,
Yeah. Well,
J Day.
yeah, it was bad too.
That was not a good tournament for those guys.
No, it wasn't. Picked the wrong Australian. Should have picked Adam Scott.
Besides my Corbridge 20 and Andre Chi.
19 over though. It was close.
Huh?
He was right there. 19 over.
He wasn't last.
That was that Michael Block?
No. Michael finished ahead of him. I think plus 15.
Yeah.
Russell Henley. Actually, Russell Henley was down there. Russell did not have a good showing.
No, he did not. All right. Well, come on. Get on with your misses.
Biggest surprises.
What about your misses?
That was my miss.
Just that?
Yeah. No, that's amazing, isn't it? I've gone. By the way, my picks for the Masters and now the PGA, 1-2.
What? Whatever.
Thank you.
Has to pick favourites every week.
The number of guys that missed. Let's talk about who missed. Biggest one, obviously, Jordan. Completely struggled around a course that he has done well in the past. Cam Smith.
Yeah.
Mick.
See, I knew you were going to go.
Do we want to talk
I
about?
knew you were going to head straight to my countrymen. I knew you were going to do this.
Why?
I knew you were going to just try to stab me in the heart and say, let's pick an Australian and see how he's struggling. He's down to his last probably down to his last 400 million.
Has he even played well since he won the Open Championship?
I'm sure he has.
When?
I don't know, he's probably playing with his boys on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or something.
I was going to say, he's, with all the millions that he made off of Live.
He's had at least one top 10 in a major since then.
Yes.
Somewhere it's happened.
He has. I'm going to do some research on it.
You do some research.
I will. I'll be ready for it next week.
Okay.
'Cause I'm not going to let you attack my countrymen like that.
Okay. Sepp Straka.
Well, that was your boy.
No, I know.
So how does that count as a miss?
I didn't have him picked.
You talked about him last week about him, though. You spoke a lot about him last week.
No.
I'm gonna
I
count that
said
as a
Russell
miss.
Henley, and you made fun of me for picking Russell twice. I'll own Russell Henley.
Right.
Sepp, I thought maybe coming off of the win the week before, but I could see where you could fall apart after that. Surprise him. Hideki. Hideki Matsuyama.
One bad tournament.
Has he been playing well this entire year? He hasn't been
really.
playing like really great golf.
Not really.
But he hasn't missed a cut in a major.
We can't say that anymore.
Yeah, no, you can't say that. Shane Lowry.
Yeah, he put on quite a performance there on one hole.
I wasn't sure if he was working for the grounds crew or not.
A little bit like
Speaking of,
a little bit like Terrell Hatton.
Yeah.
Did you you just see the cussing of the driver?
No, I missed that one.
Get on YouTube. It's a great. He uses some words that.
Terrell went all Terrell.
Oh yes, he did.
Oh, I love it. I will have to look that one up. JT. Not a good tournament for the 2017 PGA champion.
This is his love child. He loves JT.
This is not true.
Oh yes, it is.
He's lovable. He's a lovable guy.
He is a lovable guy.
I think he has a picture on his desk of JT.
I do not.
I'll get you one.
You he's trying to force this relationship. I actually when he posed the question to me, who would I rather hang out with, Rory or Justin? I said
No. Justin.
Rory.
You've got to say Justin. Are you kidding me?
No,
Why'd you rather
Rory.
hang out with
Rory
Rory?
fits more my style.
He probably drinks Jameson.
Justin JT reminds me of a buddy of ours, John Parla, and I actually brought this up in a couple of right. He reminds me of Parla, and by the way, you should have seen the way Parla played on Friday.
Bad?
No, actually, surprisingly well until he got tired, or had a few too many cocktails.
Tired.
Yeah.
Quotations.
That basically after
I don't
we
drink, so I wouldn't know.
Yes, because you have. Has it been 24 hours yet?
No.
Okay. And the last one on my list, Patrick Cantley. That was a shocker to me.
You can't all play well every week.
Is that where you
happens.
want to live this?
It happens.
How about Colin Morikawa?
How about him?
He didn't play well.
No.
You and I both were high on him. Should we put him on our miss category?
Yeah, probably. if we're going to be honest with ourselves.
And I was actually more riding it with the new caddy factor, with Joe Griner being on the bag for the second. What is that? His second or third
Second
tournament?
or third, I think. He'd be starting to feel the pressure too.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. New caddy.
We could get you out there. I've been lobbying for you to get out there.
No, senior to it, buddy.
Would you come on a retirement if Colin wore Kyle's bag?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's possible.
Ricky,
Yes.
who would you not? Patrick Reed? He missed the cut, by the way.
I'd probably caddy for him because we'd probably end up in a fist fight.
I don't know who that's good for.
Like you and
like me and Allenby nearly did.
like you and Allenby almost did.
Go back to episode 2.
Yeah. No, that was episode 3 when we talked about
episode 3.
when you walked off the golf course.
Oh, yeah. The other one was Hawaii. Anyway.
How long do you think you would last with Patrick Reed? And I'm not saying in a
I don't
fist
know.
fight.
I
How long
don't
do you
really
think
know him that well. I don't know him that well
Then why do we bag on him so bad?
because he's a cheat. Can I say that?
But I'm saying if you sized them up,
Could.
if it was a sized up and you guys got in a bar fight, who do you think wins that?
Me and Patrick?
Yeah.
Oh, me for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a big
They actually had a there was a survey on the PGA Tour about 7 or 8 years ago, and they said that if you saw someone in a parking lot getting beat up, which player would you not go and help?
That was an actual question.
Yep.
That's your
You want to know the answer? You want to know who number 1 was?
Patrick Reed.
Nope. Bubba Watson.
Really?
And number 2 was Robert Allenby. Rory Sabatini was up there.
Bubba was that bad?
Rory was up there.
I never
Rory
knew that.
Sabatini. No,
So Australians just aren't likable people.
not some of us.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
I mean, he's
I
a
was talking
lovable,
about you.
he's a
bro.
lovable,
A couple people on the list, yeah.
he's a lovable
Few people
guy
on the
over
list,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, very.
Okay, let's go to Texas. The Colonial this week, or the Charles Schwab Challenge.
Wonderful golf course.
Okay, that's what I want to get from you. How many tournaments did you caddy out there?
6 or 7 maybe.
Most memorable moment?
Good ones or bad ones?
Both. I want to know everything.
I'm not going to throw a friend of mine under the bus. A player that I caddied for, I'm not going to throw him out of the bus.
Greg Owen?
Maybe, but I'm not going to throw him out of the bus.
Is this where he bent his putter?
He may have. Anyway, move
Is
on.
this-
Yeah,
no,
move
no,
on.
no, we've talked about that
Yeah,
one.
we have. Yeah, when he bent his putter, that was a bit. Yeah,
It was Colonial.
It was Colonial. Yeah.
Scotty Cameron's do not bend over your knee very well.
He didn't bend it over his knee. He went like this. Just give it the.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Yeah, he bent it a little bit, and that was the end of that. Then we had to putt with a wedge for the last 14 holes, and
Yeah.
I think we went from 10th to 55th or something.
What's the caddy math on that?
Well, there was a lot.
wasn't
I couldn't
happy.
see through my tears.
He was. Was that when you were wearing the Oakleys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they covered them up.
What else? What else? Give me some.
No, I just love the golf course. It's just fun. It's one of the first times I got to hang out with Bryson DeChambeau.
Really?
Yeah, we played around together, and I was looking at his clubs and stuff, and he was just explaining everything to me about them and how they were all the same length and they were 14 degrees upright and stuff like that. Yeah, it was kind of cool.
What was okay? So we know what the bad was, Costney. What else? What about the course?
The course is amazing. It's a beautiful setup. It's an old style golf course. It's very narrow. You have to be able to hit it both ways off the tee. It's not really a bomber's golf course. It's a little bit like Hilton Head.
So let me ask you this:
The short hitters can win that golf course.
does the short hitter win, or does Scotty Scheffler go 3 for 3 in his last 3 tournaments?
Well, it's hard to bet against Scotty Scheffler, isn't it?
Right now, it's very hard to.
Yeah.
When you win by 8 and then you win by 5 in a major,
I think Scotty's going to be okay.
you think he's going to be okay? I think he might be tired.
Nah, yeah, maybe. No, he'll play very well there, obviously.
I think so too. Okay, favorite
Adam
bar?
Scott,
Adam Scott.
if he's playing. He's been playing a lot lately, so yeah. He's got a very good...
Anything else you just want to randomly throw?
No,
out
no,
there?
I've got to throw my token Australian in there.
Okay.
Since you sledged Cam Smith. Sorry, Cam.
Are you this upset about Cam Smith?
No.
Really?
Move on.
So he gets token Australian, you get token Georgia Bulldog, and that's just every week that's your pick. Like pretty much you're gonna go, English, Henley, Straka. You're gonna go.
And he goes.
How many University of Michigan golfers can you name?
I don't know any.
Yeah, there's none.
There's none out there.
No.
Is there really?
It's not one. It's got to be one.
There's got to be one.
Good. Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't follow the University of Michigan. I couldn't care about him.
I mean, you just buried the Bubba Watson. Thank you.
Well, he's not really a Georgia Bulldog.
He was.
He's not classified as one. Ask the other people who went to Georgia.
Oh, we claim him. I
Oh,
claim
yeah.
him.
Ask the other Georgia players on tour what they think.
Well, I don't care about them. I claim them as Georgia Bulldog. I run a golf company. Forget them.
Hudson Swafford. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh. Do you want to share some
No,
stories?
move on.
What,
See, I just like leaving you on the edge.
Why are you being so
Because I'm not drinking.
secretive
I'm
these
not
days?
drinking. Gotta be careful. Burn too many bridges.
Where's Hudson these days? He still playing?
Live.
Oh, that's right. Dang, that I feel bad because I wanted to root for Live guys. He is on Live. Yikes.
There you go.
Live tour.
They do get forgotten, I guess.
Come on, let's get back to Renegade.
Well, you want to get into Renegade? You want to talk to?
Yeah, I do.
Kenneth?
Let's go back.
Okay.
That's why he's here.
While he's here, well, you have to answer one question still.
Which one? The bar?
Yeah. By the way, Kenny, just so you know, this started. Executive producer Kim, who seemingly can't find her way around here. By the way, she did hear the episode. You're in trouble.
Well, I'm not going to go see her today.
You are. Well, she's gone. Don't worry.
I'm not in trouble. You're the one that told me. I'll be throwing you under the
You're
bus.
the one that ran into her downstairs.
You're the one that said she was out looking for a man.
No.
That's exactly what you told me on the phone. Look at him. Look at him. So you told me that, and I just
Slim.
relayed the message to all the listeners.
Oh, yeah.
Look at him. He's
Okay.
look how red he's going.
She's going to be so mad. So we actually created Mick's World Bar Tour. And so every week as we go around the tour, we pick a bar or a house, because Mick also let us know that he rents houses out while he was out on tour. So he picks a bar that we kind of highlight so that our listeners, hopefully in that area, can go visit and see.
I don't know if this one's still open.
Oh, what is
This
it?
used to be by Nike. Used to have their testing facility out there. So it was like literally the oven. It was basically like this tin shed. It didn't have any advertising. It didn't have anything. It was just where Nike developed clubs and did their things. And Tiger would go out and test out there, and I would go out there a little bit when I was caddying for Kim Felton, who was an Aussie Nike player. And they used to take me to this bar called the Back 40, and it was like this shed that had no windows, no anything, and it was one of the coolest dive bars I've ever been to in my life. It was awesome.
It's not as good as the one in New Orleans.
No, the one in New Orleans is still the best. Henry's.
Yep.
Henry's on Magazine Street, still the best.
Yep.
So while I'm here, what's the one in Atlanta?
Well, the one I drink at?
Well, just
I drink at Guston's in Ackworth.
Okay.
Well, when I was a drinker.
Yeah. You've already cost them enough money this year.
They're going to be devastated now.
I was going to say, they survived 4 months without you. I mean, now you're going to go on a 100-day. You might want to rethink this.
No,
$20
I'm not
bet
rethinking
you
it.
have.
I'm in 100 days. Someone bet me $20. I couldn't do it, so I took the 20.
Who bet you?
No, it doesn't matter.
Is it Chris?
No. Chris Fortney. No, he is. He's
He
already
would never-
He's already trying to get me to drink. He's away at the moment. He's like, I'll be back Wednesday. You're drinking. I'm like, no, I'm not.
That's two of us.
No, I'm not.
I think I got to push this.
I support him. I personally think he's going to do very well.
You're
See, this is
supporting
why
him?
Renegade
I
Golf.
think so.
This is why Renegade Golf is going to go
All
a
right.
long way
Well,
in this industry.
with that, let's turn to Renegade Golf.
That's why we're
okay.
here.
So I got to ask, and you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. What inspired you? What got you started? How did Renegade Golf come to be?
I think Mick touched on it. I mean, we look at golf advertising. It's a little bit disingenuous. It's saying like, hey, go play with the pros play. You'll play like a pro. The Pro V1 is the ball that everybody should be playing. It's $60 a dozen now. We're buying new drivers every year that are, $700, $800, and at some point it prices people out of the game, or they feel like they don't have access to the game because it's so expensive. And as I see people that look like me, and I was 27 when I founded the company, what 27-year-old has a disposable couple $1,000s to start picking up the game? So when we looked at what you need to play, you typically start with golf bag, balls, and some clubs. We don't do the club part yet, but we started off with golf bags in 2019. And we progressively realized that balls was one of the other costs that people just were absorbing because the game keeps getting more and more expensive. So, we created a brand to be more affordable, more accessible, but also inclusive. So our marketing is to those people who are, either A, fed up of spending ridiculous money on products, or B, being introduced to the game and can realize that there are other products out there that are intentionally and authentically speaking to them.
Mick, what do you think about that?
Is there any way you're going to get into the club side of things too?
I don't think so. I saw Vice got into clubs recently, and I'm kind of curious what made them pursue that. I know I grew up on Tiger Woods, and Nike, if Nike, the giant behemoth they are, can jump out the club space, I have to think that there has to be very, very slim margins and no money in clubs. But if somebody could convince me that the money's there.
I remember growing up as a kid, when my first set of clubs was like, we had the odd set of clubs. It was like a 3, 5, 7, 9 pitching wedge. You didn't have a full set. You started with like a half set, and you worked out from there. And honestly, it actually can help you develop really good golf, because you have to use a 7-iron in so many different situations because you don't have an 8.
Right.
And it teaches you how to hit certain shots. And that's how I started, with just an odd set of club. I think they were a Jack Nicklaus brand.
How full circle.
That did go full
look at
circle,
that.
didn't it? I think it was because it was definitely a Jack Nicklaus 2-wood I had. I remember that persimmon one. But that's how I started with the half sets, and I think that was more of a great way to sort of.
Did you just say a 2-iron?
2-wood.
Oh, 2-wood.
2-wood.
I thought you said 2-iron.
No, 2-wood.
I was going to say, who starts off playing with a 2-iron?
And that was a 2-wood.
Okay. 2-wood.
Yeah. So
Persimmon 2-wood.
Persimmon. Well, I'm showing my age. I never played one of those in my age at all.
there we go.
Oh, boy.
That's it.
I started out, I had the good old-fashioned hand-me-down from Dad power belts.
Oh,
That
power
had to
belts.
get cut down because I was too short.
I remember an American winning the Australian Open using power built golf clubs by the name of John Morse.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, power built golf clubs for a cavity back of all things. Had those until I got my first set of Ping I2s.
Oh, then you went bougie. See,
Then
this
I
is
was-
what we're saying. So
then
this is
I
like-
earned them from my paper route.
I love Ping. I think Ping has done a great job of not being one of those companies that's continuously putting out crap in the marketplace. That we're going to focus on quality. We're going to release a new driver every 6 months. We're going to be very consistent, very family-oriented brand. So, I have a lot of reverence for that family and for the private company that Ping is. Yeah,
very loyal to their players too.
very much. I've heard a
Exceptionally
lot
loyal
of
to
good
their
things about
players.
that. Yep.
Very good company.
Ping S55 is still in my bag. Shouldn't be hitting them anymore because I'm getting old. But hey, there you go.
I'm still using Nike Vapors.
What's that?
I'm still
Well,
using
I know
Nike Vapors.
we gotta work on that.
When I caddied for Michelle Lee.
I still can't believe you're playing Nike Vapors. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Where do you see the company heading in the next 3 to 5 years?
I think we're following the growth of golf. I think he mentioned it earlier. I think the fastest growing demographic in golf is women. Women are exploding in the game. We want to be the brand that is authentic and speaks intensely to women. So when we start talking about women golfers, they don't just want pink balls and pink clubs and purple products. They want to realize that brands are actually building products that suit them and fit them in their game and space. So I want to meet women where they are, first of all. The second fastest growing group in golf is minorities. When you look at the minority groups, specifically African Americans, are growing extremely fast. And I think that we're seeing a lot of this renaissance in golf right now, where it's becoming younger, it's becoming more diverse, and it's becoming a sport that people feel like they have the ability to play, maybe don't know how. And we want to be the brand that tells you how, that gets you introduced to it, and at a price point that feels comfortable for you.
So how are you going about it? What channels are you using now to help get your brand out there?
We've had to be really, really careful about that, because I think that if I look at what I do, I'm not a TikToker.
Right.
But TikTok is where you start to meet the new generation, the new demographic of golf. Like YouTube Shorts is probably another place. I don't even use YouTube Shorts, but I hear it's a phenomenal place. So I think thinking outside the box and going to these different places where I don't personally go. I stopped at Twitter. I never got on Twitter ever. I had one, but I was like, I don't really know how to tweet in 150 characters. But as a CEO of a company, you have to be willing to kind of find the people who are able to help you to connect to your audience. I've set the vision and the mission to do this transformative stuff in golf. Now we have to execute that, and it's places that are maybe unconventional. So,
Are you finding it hard to get into pro shops?
yeah, I think pro shops is probably the most difficult part that I never expected in the space. Golf it's traditional. I mean, so when you look at PGA professionals, a lot of them have been tied to and affiliated with OEM brands for a very long time. So when I go meet the club professional at the local country club, he's an amazing guy who's done a lot for the game of golf, but he's very loyal to the brand that supported him for his entire career. So when you're looking for shelf space in a space where there's already large brands who are already taking space in that pro shop, they've got to take somebody out to put you in. That's probably the biggest lesson you learn in retail, period. If somebody's going in, somebody else is coming out. Who do you replace in the golf ball market when you're trying to make that entry? So I found that pro shops are probably the most hard place to get into, specifically ones that have PGA professionals. But I also think that, every pro shop carries multiple brands. Even if you're a Titleist shop or a Callaway shop, you have room for a couple more. So we've got to be that third or fourth brand. So when you ask where we're going, we want to be, a player in a space, not a novelty, not a flash in the pan, but be a true player in a space that speaks to a segment of the audience that golf courses have that's growing.
Yeah, see, to me that's a little disappointing that pros don't do that because, I practice a lot at Cobblestone Golf Course, and I was out there yesterday, and they're doing a kids clinic, and there's 20 kids on the fair out there practicing on the range, and I'm thinking, these kids aren't going to buy Titleist golf balls or whatever. They don't need Titleist golf.
Well, they're gonna push them down in the NXT line. They're gonna push them down in the
the True Soft, the Tour Feel, all that different.
Yeah.
There's the one thing I have a lot of reverence for Titleist for, and all those big brands, is that they do have a ball for every type of customer. And when you go all the way through their line, you can go from a 4-piece thermoplastic urethane ball or cast urethane all the way down to your 2-piece Surlyn. And they offer that, even though a Cushnet owning Pinnacle. So you go through the entire range of balls within a brand, and you can buy whatever you want there.
Yeah.
They're just pushing the ones that drive the most profitability, which...
Yeah,
The problem is you cannot go out and practice and try the ball to figure out which ball makes sense for you. And if you try to read any of those descriptors that are on the big fancy displays that they have inside of PGA Tour Superstore, I don't care wherever you go, they all look and sound the same.
That's what I hate about golf. Like, why are we speaking in code?
Yeah.
Even a lot of times when I talk to people about, this is TPU and 85 core compression and da-da-da,
What does that mean?
Yeah. The average golfer, I don't know. I just like this ball.
That's really...
Someone says using a Titleist, so I figure I would.
Yeah. Somebody could ask me, why do you use this ball? And I'd be like, because this is what I've used my entire playing career.
Same. I'm exactly the same.
And now, thankfully, getting to know you and being able to play, would I have gone into a PGA Tour Superstore or Carl's Golfland or balls.com and just picked up a dozen Renegades? Probably not. But now that I've had the chance to go play them and actually test them and see what they can do, the difference between a Titleist Pro V and the Renegade MBU, honestly, even at the level I'm at, can't really tell the difference. Where I have noticed the difference, the biggest difference is I have less spin going into the green, which actually has helped me in more cases now, just because of my slower swing speeds as I'm getting
As you get older. I'll be playing Friday, so I'll be using it.
Yeah? Okay.
there it
And
is.
then I'll give you a little shout out because I'm very superstitious when it comes to golf, and I've used the same golf ball forever. And I only use white tees. I don't use any other different coloured tees, and so that's.
I can actually confirm all of this.
Yep.
We've played, and now when you've played with a buddy long enough, where you're like, I know when they're starting to struggle, when things are going wrong, or what they like or not like while you're riding in the cart or whatever. Yeah. I'm now there with him.
I don't do my shoelaces up until I get onto the golf course.
This is true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, golf is weird. There's a lot of superstitions in golf, and people. Now, one thing I like to ask is why people do things, and sometimes I don't know. Like, why do you play this golf ball? Is it because you think it's getting more distance? Is it feel? It's because somebody told you so. And generally, people really can't explain why. It just is. It's a feel. It's a superstition. It's a gut. I don't want to change it. So I always ask those questions. Why do you do this? And generally speaking, it's because when I first started, somebody introduced me this way, and I've never switched ever since. I haven't had to.
So I'm playing with a group of guys on Friday, my crew.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them all the ball and see what they say.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah, me too. I'm intrigued.
Where are we playing Friday?
What do you think, buddy? My latest Bentwater Golf Club. I'll be playing on. I'll be playing at Bentwater. Very nice golf course.
He has to give a plug every episode.
Every chance he gets.
Yeah, he's
like
trying to
Bentwater.
become a member.
I like
out there.
Bentwater.
How are we doing over there? Are we?
I'll know Friday.
Are they
I'm
on
gonna
waiting
have
list?
a-
Okay.
have a
They're
look
waiting list
shout
right
out.
now?
What's that?
It's a waiting list?
No,
I don't know.
Actually, it's very cheap to be a member there.
We
We will. I'll discuss that with the Bentwater people on Friday.
Oh, fantastic.
I'll show them all this.
So, speaking of innovation, how involved are you now currently with the innovation of the company and where you guys are heading now, or have you turned that over to the R&D department?
Well, we got fortunate when we started that there was an individual who had experience in R&D and supply chain who came from Titleist. It's kind of the origin story of a lot of the golf ball companies. This guy worked on this development here, and he came over and helped you build it. So, he's been very instrumental in us developing and coming up with new products. We also work closely with the manufacturers. They've been doing it longer than we have. But we really aren't focusing on innovation with our product as much as being authentic about who we are as a company. I think branding has become really important, marketing who we want to be. We're not going to be the brand that releases maybe a new ball every single year. That's one thing I've always never believed in. Is like, we're going to release a new and improved blah, blah, blah this year that is 10% better. Like, golf balls, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if golf balls have tremendously improved leaps and bounds over the last 5 to 10 years. I think clubs have actually probably taken a lot more technological advances. Golf balls are heavily regulated. There's not a lot of change there. So I don't want to be one of those companies that says, hey, this is a new and improved Imbu, and it's 5% better than last year. Like, what does that even mean? I'd rather be a 5% better company at reaching my customer and core base and helping them learn more about what golf ball is right for them.
I used to hear it all the time when I was out on tour. Every year Titleist would come out with a new ball, or Srixon would come out with a new ball or whoever, and they'd be like, "This one's 10 yards further than the other one." Well, they should be hitting at 700 by now.
I was about to say the math isn't mathing quite
If
yet.
that wasn't the case, they'd be hitting at 700 yards. But it's such a heavily regulated thing now.
And a lot of people don't realize those guys don't play the same stock balls that our players are playing for. There's a lot more conforming golf balls out there than the three or
Don't give
four
away all the
marketed.
secrets.
Well, no, the guys will come out with a box. It's not branded. It's just a white sleeve. And so here, try these are the new Titleist ones to try. And that's just a white sleeve. It doesn't come in a Titleist box. It's like, this is the new one. Try it. Tell us what you think. That's how they get their feedback.
Well, and you have to test at that level too. I mean, that obviously, I think you would agree. You'd love to have one or two guys out on tour playing your ball from a marketing perspective. But
We talked about that in the lobby. I don't necessarily know. I mean, one thing I've learned about tour guys is that there is a cost to play. And I don't know if the ROI is there from a branding perspective. We talked about what representation looks like, and you see these commercials, and it's JT and Jordan Spieth. Like, I think the example, and you probably speak to it more than I know, just to have a ball deal with a guy that owns a tour card, it's going to be a 4-figure deal. Just to start off base. I'm rooting for him as a part of our brand to go ahead and win. On the off chance that one of our guys wins with our ball, we probably got to write him a $15,000 to $25,000 check to say, hey, thanks, good job for winning. I don't know that the TV is going to show our golf ball enough times during that airing to make that worth $25,000 of marketing for us. So it's a really hard proposition to go ahead and do that. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you've got a hat that you can show and you're wearing it on a sleeve or something like that, that's far more prevalent than the Darrell survey, which they do at the start of every round, saying, hey, what ball are you using, Titleist? And one person using a Renegade. But these guys get hefty paychecks for when they win, for the bonuses, for using these clubs, for using this ball, for using this putter and stuff like that. I mean, there are guys getting $5,000 a week for using a Scotty Cameron putter. Guaranteed, if not more.
oh yeah.
So for a smaller company to catch up with that, that's awfully hard to do.
Would you rather? So I know you're heavily invested in youth golf, and I know you've been working with the folks at First Tee.
Yep.
Is that direction more of the direction that you want to take the company then?
Yeah, I mean, I love the philanthropy part of what we can do as a company. I'm a First Tee alumni. We just did a partnership with Accenture a few weeks ago where they support the First Tee of Houston. We provided golf balls there, and I've supported some local players in the Atlanta market through the First Tee program. So the philanthropy part gets me excited, and it gets me, really up every day to really continue to run and doing what we're doing. But I also think that there's so many people who are influential in the space now who aren't PGA Tour players. I saw Roger Steele on the golf broadcast this week for CBS, and this was an influencer who was a couple thousand followers 2 or 3 years ago. Now he's on TV talking about golf. So I think there's a lot of people like that who have now become influential in the space and who are kind of pioneers of what this new era of golf looks like.
I agree.
I think targeting the kids and the women is just it's a phenomenal idea. You
Yeah.
get a kid who uses a Renegade golf ball, he's going to use it for 5 years and go, well, I'm not changing.
I mean, I was
know,
practicing last night, and I had dad, 2 sons, mom was out there with her son. Then I had the young couple that was just showing up to the course, and then there was a couple of 30-year-old guys chipping and putting as well. I mean, it's amazing to watch just as you're just go to a practice facility and just stand there and see who's coming to there.
There's only one thing that annoys me about women's golf, and not professional, women's golf as in just playing on a regular muni or something like that. Why do men get 4 different tees and women only get 1?
It's a great.
Are
question.
you suggesting that they all play to the same handicap?
Clearly?
That's why I don't like it. Why don't they have 3 sets of tees for what
Right.
their handicap and stuff is like that? It's just, I mean, I used to take one of my ex-wives out because I have 3.
Mick hasn't been doing well in this category.
But, if you're taking out a learner or a beginner, you're putting them off 1 set of tees and she's not going to reach these par 4s in 2. There should be 3 sets of tees for ladies as there is for men.
And that's
I've
the
never
kind of
understood
questions
that.
we got to start asking in golf. We got to start asking questions like that to really grow the game with women and with juniors and stuff. We can't just paint a ball pink or give you 1 set of tees, but let's really look at how we're actually building this game to them and see if it makes sense. And we can make those adjustments as necessary to go ahead and make more sense for them to play.
Yeah, it makes much more sense because at the end of the day, I'd be like, well, just don't tee off there, just tee off 50, 60 yards further up and then we'll go from there. But
So where can somebody find Renegade Golf? They're out on social, and then obviously one more time for everybody if they want to go pick up a dozen.
Yeah, our big push is retail. So, we love our partners at Carl's Golfland. I love the people in the Midwest, but also we're excited to be in PGA Tour Superstore. PGA Tour Superstore in the Atlanta metro area has been amazing for us. A lot of the Atlanta City Park golf courses. But we're selling over 25 states. So if your local golf course doesn't have us, let them know they can have us. But online, golfballs.com, Carl's Golfland, PGA Tour Superstore, Walmart coming next month. Super excited for Walmart release. And over 60 golf courses across 20 states. So we're growing. That number is going to increase 100% in the next 6 months, and it's going to continue to increase.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
and if you are using it out there, please drop us a comment, drop us online, let us know.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear the feedback.
All right, last question. Who do you have for the U.S. Open?
I got Justin Thomas. We talk about Justin Thomas being a favorite right there, but I think
JT at
If it's
Oakmont.
not the Michigan boys together, it's the Justin Thomas boys together.
Are you okay over there?
No, I'm good.
he's playing some good golf now. He got back in the winner's circle this year. I think he gets
6
back in the
over
major
after
circle.
3 holes in the first day.
Yeah, he's a little bit erratic, But I always have a Georgia connect as well. I want to see Harris English win a major. I love having my Georgia people. So
See, now
Harris
you should
English
be
playing
happy
good
over
golf.
there.
I'm happy now because Harris is my boy.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Harris. His caddy's a very good friend of mine. So.
Well, thank you. Been a great pleasure to have you on today.
Been awesome.
Anything else for us?
No, I'm good, mate. I'm good.
You're good?
I'm good. Going to go home, call Cam Smith.
You're gonna go call Cam.
Oh, do you know it?
Yep. And we're getting feedback for your credit card roulette. We still got to come up with a prize.
Are we getting feedback, are we?
We are.
Oh, beautiful. I'll have to have a look at that tonight.
Oh boy. By the way, have you ever played credit card roulette?
Never.
Oh boy.
It's a great sport.
Don't go downstairs to the bar and then try to play credit card roulette with Mick.
I don't drink.
Go play then. It's a lot cheaper.
So how do we get some of our viewers Renegade golf balls? What do we got to do? What do we got to do to get these people Renegade golf balls out there? Can we make something happen?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Let's get some out there to some people. If they get you guys some comments, we'll get some out there. We'll get him some first. We'll get some.
We're
viewers
gonna
from
we're gonna
Renegade
get
golf
Mick some balls so that he can
Playing
play
Friday.
on Friday.
Playing Friday.
I think I may have some at the house still. I don't know. I got to check my.
You're not going to give them away. You're cheap.
That's not true.
balls. Well,
I
not
use
cheap,
them.
so-
I use them. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you've given me a couple dozen over the.
Oh, wow, here we go.
We're gonna make it happen. We get some viewers from Renegade golf.
There we
balls.
go.
Apparently you're swinging it very well anyway.
We're gonna grab some social stuff. We're gonna put it up on our socials. So with that, Thanks for teeing it up with us on Tales from the Tips. Make sure you catch us on Instagram, X. We are also on TikTok. I mean, Mick is a big TikToker over there. But you can also catch all of our content, our shorts on YouTube, as well as all of our new content. Got a big shout out to Slim, who helped us get that last episode out. We'll get this one out as well. Guys, remember, keep your drive straight, your putt short, and your scores low as we tee it up on Tales from the Tips. We'll see you next time.
Beautifully done.